So this is going to be a great weekend, and we're going to start it all off right here in game number 1.
7. Cool. And I would like to go first.
Kenny is going to go first.
Seems like a good place to be most of the time.
I think the pressure is on for Kenny compared to Raymond.
Yeah?
Yep. Raymond, I believe he has already gotten his qualification for his Master Duel World Championship.
Really? Was he one of the qualifiers, or was he invited as part of a team?
He was the qualifier. He was the qualifier.
Oh, man. So he's already grinded out a whole weekend of duels.
Exactly.
Even before he got here. Now, that said, though, for all the viewers at home, if Raymond does qualify here for the TCG World Championship, he's got to choose. He cannot play both World Championship events, as they'll be happening simultaneously. It'll be a little difficult to be in two places at once, even if they're both in the same convention center.
So we're going to start off with a Runic Fountain activated by Kenny. And we're going to see a Runic spell card.
Fountain for 1 drop? Yeah.
Summoning into a Hugin. And special summoning out a Sprite Blue, with the level 2 being able to give that Sprite Blue onto the field. Continue with the special summon, Sprite Jet. Adding a Sprite starter into hand, looking pretty solid already. No response from Raymond. So we're not seeing anything like Jordan Lockwood cutting these lines out.
Number 7. YUGIOH day number 2. And the time was in April 2010, number 6. So that his time was in April 2010, number 6. And number 7. As well as
Kenny's proceeding to overlay into Gigantic Sprite. There is a monster from the extra deck, so that is going to be boosted to 32. And the Ash Blossom comes down from Raymond. Usually, oh, now we're going to see the starter come out. Now, he could have went with the starter first and then set up perhaps something to block that Ash Blossom. But would that have resulted in a more profitable play?
I don't know. I think you want to actually get, like, if you draw out the Ash now and then you put red or carrot on the field, like, you're guaranteed to get that thing on the field. You know Ash Blossom's gone, and you can go about the rest of your business there.
I guess
I think I like this order.
Yeah. And the carrot. The entire Sprite family is on the field. This is going to be a link play, likely going to Sprite Sprint. Oh no, it's an IP Masquerena.
Links 2 for IP. So the interesting thing with Sprite is, despite the fact that Sprite, or Gigantic Sprite rather, has that lock on it to lock you and everybody into level 2s, there's actually a lot of other stuff you can do with Sprite as well. And IP Masquerena is part of that, letting you go into stuff that's much higher than all the Link 2s and the like that the deck normally plays. If you go really crazy, you can get some level 10 synchros on the field, but that's just like a completely different style of deck that I don't think anybody's going to play here.
Yeah. Don't think that anyone's on that just yet.
They could. They could, I think.
So I'm kind of curious of knowing what's in Kenny's hand, considering he passed the turn.
Targeting.
Oh.
This is draw phase, right? Yeah.
We're starting off with a draw phase impermanence, but like, look at the Runic Fountain. The cards in hand could be Runic cards.
They could.
Target Sprite Carrot.
And we're going to target the Sprite Carrot, turning off the Carrot's ability to negate spells and traps.
It would be pretty useful if you're a Sky Striker duelist and your hand is full of spells.
Yes.
Okay.
Proceed.
Stand by main.
We're going to standby main phase. We see a Sky Striker Ray in hand. That is Raymond's favorite card. All right, it's the heart of the cards right there. And we're going to start off with a Pot of Desires. Now, without the carrot getting in the way, let's hope that this goes through without an Ash Blossom blocking. We are seeing the draw 2. It resolved successfully. That was a 9 spell card banter with 1 Ash Blossom being the 10th card.
Imperm target.
Yeah,
Second Imperm.
I drew into more impermanence.
Now he's got to use it or lose it.
That turns off a majority of that field.
All right, that leaves just the red and anything in hand that's a runic spell. Afterburners is up next.
Targeting Sprite Red.
That's every single monster turned off if this goes through. I feel like this entire field just got picked apart.
2 spells engraved now.
Normal summon Ray.
Now Ray is here.
Yeah.
Kenny's going to have to rely on the remaining cards in his hand. Or otherwise, Raymond's going to basically play unhindered.
Yep. Declare attack on IP. Yeah. Take 7. Yep. Let me at 61. 61. Effective Ray in battle phase.
Battle phase Ray effect. Ray is going to go into the extra deck, summoning out to Hayate. Hayate has the direct attack, so that definitely can bypass the Sprite Carrot. And once that Hayate hits, that's going to be the 3rd spell card hitting into the graveyard.
3rd spell card goes in there. Now, the tricky thing is if you're going to get something back with the Kagari, then, like, say you dump Engage, for instance, like that. Well, now you only have 2 again, so the Engage isn't quite at max power, but any other spell card will fix that as well.
Yeah. No response.
Oh, it gets hit by the Flashing Fire. Flashing Fire. That will prevent the attack, but Ray is coming back from the graveyard. That's going to prevent that that 3rd spell card we just mentioned.
It does not trigger the fountain there, so I would assume the last card is another runic card.
Yes.
Kagari effect. Just afterburner. Yeah.
And we're going to target the Afterburners, and that's going to be hit with Freezing Curse.
3. Resolves.
Going to banish 3 cards. There's a Ray and Afterburners. I believe that was a linkage as well that got banished from that.
Linkage is a very scary card. The more copies of that you can have in your hand, the better. You can put out a whole lot of damage since there's no once per turn on it.
Oh, yes. And especially when you have light and darks in the graveyard, then that boosts it up to 25.
Kazuku comes down, sets a card face down, and now we're headed to the end phase.
We are adding
that is
new Engage.
That's the red Engage.
I love the artwork on that card.
It's fantastic. It's really, really nice.
1 in hand besides the Engage, so 2. Yeah.
All right, Kenny's back up. Still has a carrot on the field.
Let's see if he can replenish his resources with a runic spell card. We're starting off with Live Twin.
All right. So we got Live Twin Lilla. Lilla has another monster on the field, can't use her effect.
But there are 2 level 2s, and there is the Kiss a Kill Frost. Get special summon as long as you control a Lilla on the field. So there we go. We got both twins.
And Frost is another way that you can get an extra card. Take some damage while you have an Evil Twin out.
We're going to go into the extra deck. Sending them to the graveyard. Is that going to be a link summon? So we're going to go to Kiss a Kill. Evil Twin Kiss a Kill.
So Kiss Kill summoned. Wants to activate the effect on summon.
Now, does that put them into a Fiend lock?
I believe that one is Fiend, yes. It's the channel. Not the channel, the home.
Yes.
It's the quick play that special summons that gives you the Evil Twin lock.
Yes.
Thank you.
Raymond doesn't have that many disruptions here. From what we can tell. Okay, we're going to see an Impermanence. That's the 3rd copy now.
And he tributes it off, tributes Kiss Kill off with Carrot to dodge the Impermanence. And we see that the effect then goes through. It's kind of nice because it'll go through either way, right? Like even if the carrot gets negated there, well, the Kiss goes off the field now, so it's still going to go unhindered.
He can go into the evil twin Lilla now. And then he can still special summon back the Kill, get the draw 1.
Yep.
That's still looking pretty good.
You're going to do that there.
Draw card, right? Yep.
And he gets the draw, but there is no battle phase here.
Yes, due to activating the runic spell cards. Got to skip that next battle phase.
So the Shizuku feeling pretty safe. Oh, runic tip as the follow-up.
And Imperm was, in fact, in the center column. They remembered that.
Oh, that's something to like never be caught off guard on.
That would be that would be pretty bad. Really, all 3 Imperms.
That's that. I don't know if that's a blessing or a curse.
Oh, I did not hear.
Well, there's a freezing curse.
The middle row was turned off in some capacity.
Impermanent. He was just clarifying which row it was.
Did the Imperm fail to negate a monster effect then?
It did, yeah.
Right. Then it won't be shuttled.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, I totally forgot.
Please speak up. I could not hear
That
that.
is
Sorry, top 1.
And we're gonna we're going to banish the top 1. That is a Widow Anchor. I mean, Raymond's deck is slowly losing a lot of its options.
And you added freezing curses.
Yeah, this is a tough one too because once you get the twins back, it is very, very difficult to run them out of those cards.
Banishing 2, a thrust, and a tactics. Or, sorry, a talent. Both of them, which are triple
Yeah,
tactics.
they're both triple tactics. This one is talents. You're going to use both of them if you're playing the Sky Striker deck, though. You have so many normal spells and, well, traps too. Maybe less traps if you draw on all 3 impermanents.
Ray has been summoned back onto the field. Maybe he really likes the card because they share a name. Raymond and Ray. I just thought about that
Very
just now.
true.
But Flashing Fire played as well. Oh, we're going into another Link summon, I believe.
Oh, let's play.
It's Trouble Sunny.
Yep. So I mentioned before, a lot of these Sprite decks are actually just going higher than Link 2 these days.
Yeah.
Not just with the IP Masquerena, but if you're playing the Live Twin version as well, you kind of got to play Trouble Sunny.
The total extension sits at 6. Proceed.
So Trouble Sunny splits back up into the component parts.
And I believe we're trying to get the destruction effect of
Lilla attempt to set. For sure. Chain Ray? Yeah.
Ray Chains. Chain Link 2. A little bit of a forced tag out.
Yeah, that's the thing with Striker. Like, the more you can make them play when they don't want to, the better off you are.
And we're going to go into Hayate. Since there's no battle phase, this is perfect. And just doing the freezing curse for 3. And we're going to see the Runic Fountain finally getting that draw.
I'm going to refill that hand. There's 1, 2,
and
3.
I didn't go in my deck, right?
Yeah, no actual summons from the deck.
So we're just going to put them to the bottom. We're going to draw 3 cards.
Because I didn't go in for a Lola, so I thought I didn't go.
Oh, but there was.
There was.
To the bottom?
Oh, yeah, the tip. The runic tip.
Of course. Well, now it's going to be a bit of an uphill battle for Raymond. Like, letting them resolve that Runic Fountain is always... It's never a position you want to be in.
Yeah, especially when it's for the full 3 and not 2. And we're going to banish. And send an Evil Twin. Hayate is sent.
That was a lot of clearing without a battle phase.
Enter battle phase, skip it.
And the battle phase has now just been skipped. We're going to go to end phase, and then we're going to go draw phase for Raymond.
Stand by me.
Oh!
That was looking really good for Kenny. Got Ray out of circulation there, but now she's back.
This is the last copy of Ray available. Well, it's the one engraved still available, but that was the last copy of Ray within the deck.
Yeah, one was banished earlier, I believe.
We're going to use Lilla, summon out, Kiss get the draw.
Those draws are really valuable when any runic spell card you draw is a new point of interaction.
Mm-hmm. Oh, there is multi-roll.
Yep.
Multi-roll recently coming off, or rather increasing the copy from the recent FNL list.
From 1 to 3. Not that you'll really play 3. I think 2's enough. 2's usually enough for that card.
Yeah, oh yes. But we are going to go for engage. Engage into Widow Anchor.
5, 6, 7.
Yeah, plenty of spells at this point.
I think he only has 7 cards left in his deck.
Or I guess after resolution.
We might even see a deck out.
So you're at 6 now.
That's entirely possible.
That's
One thing you can't really do with Sky Strikers is get those cards back into the deck. You can get back into your hand real easily. Well, it's a little hard to keep them going forever unless you play the Hercules base.
Oh, yes, yes.
Yep, that's good.
I can't remember the last time I've seen a Sky Striker player running Hercules base.
It's been a few years.
It's been a while. Uses Engage, picks up Hornet drones.
Well, that's still available.
Yeah, you still get your 1.
2 ways to get the monsters. And you get the draw. This is going to be very dangerous to draw too many cards, especially if Kenny just activates runic spell cards here just to banish the rest of the deck.
Yeah, that's the issue here is all this stuff in hand, because just those 2 twins on the field, not really threatening. You could maybe just linkage your way through all of it. But all those cards in hand representing actual things that can stop you, not so good. Not so good. And you can see over there on the side, that is the cool new artwork for Sky Striker Mobilize Engage. You got
much darker theme.
Yep. And that's in the new Battles of Legend, Monstrous Revenge.
I'm gonna activate Widow Anchor.
Okay, Widow Anchor.
Let's see if that goes through. Kenny's checking his hand.
I mean, if Kenny's holding a runic destruction, that would literally mean destruction for Raymond.
A lot of green in that hand. A lot of green. Checks the number of cards left.
That's where I feel it's most scary. When your opponent's just checking the number of cards you have left in the deck and they are playing runic, you know that, hey, they might have something up their sleeve.
Normal summon Ray.
Normal summon out Ray.
Yes.
All right. Heads into the extra deck. And send Ray off for Kagari.
Target effect targeting Widow.
Okay, we got the Widow Anchor.
Now we got a note here.
Top 2, 3.
That was the target. Oh.
It's flashing. Or freezing.
No, that's a freezing curse, stopping the add back for the Widow Anchor. I think he's down to 1 card left in the deck. This will be quite the first game of the WCQ here on the World's Points.
We're gonna link to Zeke. Oh, for Unicorn. All right. Nightmare Unicorn. So link 3. Using one of them as 2 materials and the other as 1.
Activate Area 0.
Okay, Area 0.
Special summon, or activate Hornet Drones. You did not use multi-roll yet. I did not.
We're not quite in access code range yet. Like, you need 1 more something.
I don't know how he's going to get that damage. Unless there's a... He can go to access code. Maybe also use the... Unless the last card is a monster, and he can get rid of the Sky base. Or the Area 0. Area 0 to get the monster, so you can use access code at 5,300.
Summon access code. Effect on summon targeting Nightmare Unicorn.
And then they can push for the damage.
I couldn't hear what you said.
Now, when there's only 1 card left, the runics are going to have a tough time activating because you do need to have the right amount of cards to banish before you can activate the card. It's really just tip. Well, I guess there's the tip that can banish 1 card, and if that's the last monster, then that would have been a really neat line to go to take 6,100 points worth of life points, but that I don't think it's going through now. That was a very clutch one.
That's tough. I don't think any of the other ones that you play from hand.
I think at this point you just pass turn if there's nothing more. Once it gets back to you, I mean it's a deck out now.
so special is fine.
Like, is there any reason to continue to develop the field here?
I don't think so.
And, yep, I got nothing else. Access code.
Oh, so he's defending up. He's defending up. It's still technically Raven's turn. I almost thought that was Kenny's turn right there, but yeah, it's Raven's turn, trying to get the extra damage here.
Yeah, notably the special summons do not banish, so you can still get some value out of the cards.
Was the special summon off of Slumber not legal in this case?
You're right. It's not.
Oh, I believe that summon was not.
It's not because you use the evil twin.
Ah,
the evil twin.
So we'll undo that.
Yeah.
I'm reverting the game state right now.
It's easy to forget these locks, especially if they're on different sorts of things. And when you start combining lots of different things together, so for example, you have Runic, you have Live Twins, you have Sprites. Sprites have locks for level 2 rank 2 Link 2s. Evil Twins have one for Fiends and one for Evil Twin monsters. And then the Runic cards, on top of skipping the battle phases, also need to have the exact numbers available to banish. There's a lot to keep track of.
Yes.
There's a lot to keep track of. And this kind of high-pressure situation, immediately the second you set foot in Raleigh, it's tough. Like, this is a tough event. Single elimination, no practice the night before. Maybe you just flew in, just got here. I know, like, our staff is still getting here. Everybody knows Tyler, one of our coverage writers. His flight just landed like an hour ago.
And
enter battle, attack for 53.
And so you're still only attacking for 53.
800, yeah. Yep.
Let's see where we're going to get that 800 from. We got some burn damage, maybe? What do you got, Raymond?
I really... well, everything's on the table now.
Multi-roll.
Multi-roll. Multi-roll's going to set a bunch of cards onto the field. He's going to shuffle them up and put them back onto the field. There was a lot of spell cards activated after all. And we're going to see where this is going to take. Like, not...
I mean, it should just be go.
Yeah. Yep, okay. We're just going to...
Got it.
Yeah. And that's it. Nothing to get anything back into the deck, so Raymond comes up just a little bit short, 800 points short to be exact.
Yeah. Well, game one goes to Kenny.
And that's really kind of the nice thing about the Runic cards is the fact that they give you that extra bit of a win condition. It's like you can't attack. You can go for turns and turns without being able to attack. But as long as you can get rid of all those cards and your opponent is helping you out with things like Pot of Desires and specifically Pot of Desires, because like Extravagance, that doesn't do you much good. It doesn't take it from the extra deck. Prosperity certainly doesn't do you any good because that takes from the extra deck.
Yes.
But in this particular matchup, losing 10 cards off of Pot of Desires does, a bit less than a third of the damage for you if you're the Runic player. And just knowing that you have that available as one of your win conditions here is huge. And it's a bit of a disadvantage.
Yes.
For Raymond.
I think there's definitely a tempo shift that the moment that the Desires went through, there's a lot less Runic that you need to activate for sure. And I think that the point of that last game where it was just one card and there was a Runic tip and apparently that was the winning condition for Raymond, and that just was plucked right out during that particular interaction. Oh, that must have felt really, really awful.
It does hurt, especially like when you know in your mind that you actually have it, that you can still win even with one card left in your deck. But you can't win with 0 cards left in your deck, and they just have that one to give. It hurts.
That felt like a Yugi moment right there.
A little bit. A little bit.
A little bit hard on the cards. Last card, I still can win this.
I'm glad we're starting early with that. That's kind of a sign it's going to be a good weekend, I think.
Oh, for sure, for sure.
Good omens, good omens.
Our players are going into their sides now. How would you side against a Runic deck?
If you're Sky Striker, I think you just need to be careful for the most part. A lot of your stuff is already useful. One thing that's always important is getting rid of the fountain. As long as you've got Coptic Cyclone somewhere and you can just get rid of that fountain, that's massive.
Okay. Yeah.
And other than that, I don't really think you change a whole lot. Like maybe you go after a little more back row, but really the Cosmic Cyclones ought to be good enough for that.
If we can resolve a proper afterburners to use a non-targeting spell trap destruction, that would be also pretty useful.
Yeah, I don't know if you really want more traps. Maybe if you're going first, you want something Like you could run, there could be only one, but against this specific combination of sprite cards, it's actually not as good.
You got a mix of fiends.
You've got Cybers, you have Fiends, you have Thunder, you've got Fairy, you've got all sorts of different things there. So I think that this deck, that Kenny's deck, can actually play around. There could be only one a lot better than it might seem on the surface. Maybe that's not the best.
Second. Okay, great.
I think I'm going to just take my chances getting rid of the Fountain and cutting him off of all that stuff and just dealing with the monsters.
Probably use cards like Ghost Spell to prevent the cards being added back. You know, just more copies of ways to prevent the draw 3.
Yeah.
Any way possible to reduce the amount of cards that they're basically going to activate and get back. Like, just minimize Fountain.
It's a significantly less powerful deck when they don't have it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Looks like game 2 is ready to roll. So let's see if Kenny's going to go on with a 2-0 or if Raymond can get back in this.
Players, you may begin.
Well, I would love to see a set rotation against a Fountain deck.
Oh.
And just never activate the face down one, so no matter what happens, there's no Fountain going off.
And you've got the Area 0 in there as well. You can just set.
So we're going to start off with a normal summon of Live Twin Kissakill, summoning out into Live Twin Lilla.
It looks like Raymond's elected to go second here. That's very common for Sky Striker.
Yeah, Sky Striker for sure. There's just more things you can activate. There's just more ways to use your afterburners. Like a lot of the cards that would help you gain advantage, you can open up all of those plays.
There's a lot of removal in
Yes.
Sky Striker.
And we're going to go into Sprite Blue. Blue, I'm going to say Jet. Yep, we're going to search into Jet. Jet likely just going to be special summoned. Unless there is, you know, perhaps a carrot. Nope, we're just going to start with Gigantic Sprite.
Yeah, so we're at what, 1, 2, 3, 4 right now?
Yeah.
It could be helpful if we lock both players into level 2s.
Yeah, then we'll have to worry about Nibiru.
Especially because, you know, Kenny doesn't have red out yet. So there's no protection here yet, but you can get a little bit off of the locking effect of Gigantic Sprite.
I think that's also like a part that many people tend to forget, especially when they're playing cards like Bystials and they're like, oh, in the battle phase, I'll protect myself. I'm like, well, I activate the Gigantic Sprite, so you can't even summon them out anymore.
All right, now we got a little bit of protection here.
So we got the Carrot. Carrot probably the right choice because of Sky Striker full of spells and trap. Oh, sorry, just spells.
Now we get the Jet. Jet gets starter.
So we're already into a level 2 link to rank 2 lock, so the playing it won't have any sort of impact. We're going to see the summoning effect of the runic spell.
Go in Hugin, which just happens to be level 2.
And we're going to see the effect. Discarding a card. That was the starter. That's a pretty high value card to throw away.
It is. But is that one card more valuable than setting up your whole, you know, draw 3, play all these cards on your opponent's turn engine?
No, for sure, for sure. That's a no-brainer trade. Okay, we're going to, I'm guessing, considering the last round, IP Masquerena?
Yep.
Yeah, we're going to IP.
There it is. And now these two are going away, and that's going to go into the Evil Twin lineup. Kisskill's up first.
Cards in hand. 3, one's a fountain.
3 cards in hand. One is the fountain that we just got with Hugin.
There is a Ghost Spell.
Ah, all right. So that stops the Lilla from returning, assuming that it goes through, and it does.
Ghost Spell's a pretty good card against...
Yeah, there's a lot of different things you can use it on.
Yeah, for this particular matchup, you can stop the Fountain from resolving the draw. You can stop the Kissakill from summoning more monsters, but that is only a temporary measure. And once we go to the next turn's main phase, that Kissakill is live again.
It's not going to be as good, though, because it can't get back a Lilla.
Yes.
The extra deck Lilla.
Correct. It did cut down on like some of the more impactful cards coming out. Oh,
well, no.
But there is. Okay, so we're going to see a reinforcement of the army. Now, Raymond's hand is quite loaded from what you just saw. But we still have to play around the Sprite carrot. That carrot is holding the board.
So the carrot's there. We've got IP Masquerena as well, which could make a unicorn or something else. We also don't know entirely what's in Kenny's hand. Like, if you're Raymond, you don't know how many runic spells might be in there.
I love Raymond's hand right now.
It's pretty damn.
It's very going second oriented.
Well, we got to get past the carrot first. Otherwise, all these power spells, they aren't necessarily amounting to much.
Correct. Oh, starting with the Raigeki.
Yeah, now the Raigeki's tough here because not necessarily going to get what you want.
You don't really need to negate. You have a choice of using the IP Masquerena. You have the choice of using the carrot. You have choices here. If you go for IP Masquerena, the monster that you leave on board will survive thanks to IP's effect. But if you use carrot, then you're using your negation right away, which means the other spells will go through. Yeah, we're gonna the carrot. Now, if you take away the Kiss-a-Kill, you're gonna lose a summon, but the summon is not that high value right now.
And he takes away the IP Masquerena, which also takes away the summon. That's an interesting one.
And we're gonna get a Duster. Now, this is not guaranteed to take it out, but it is going to take it out this time. Because there are ways to just use the runic spell card to summon out Hugin, who can protect that field spell.
Effective Rose, special.
I wonder if he just doesn't have one. Like, when he cleared out the IP, the only thing that came to mind was he needs to get a monster out of his extra monster zone to play a runic from hand and summon with it. But apparently he didn't have it.
Attempt to leave main and enter battle.
We're going to battle phase with the two Sky Striker aces here. Before the end of main phase, summon of we're walling up.
You got to activate the super chat effect and make them pay.
To take 500.
You got to pay 500 to attack. So when you have the two together,
yes.
the payment goes directly to your opponent's life points if you have the original Kiss-a-Kill and Roller together.
Of course. You get as much damage as you can. You can't miss these little things. Like, Raymond was short just like a couple hundred damage last game.
And this is a really good position for Raymond right now. Like, he's going to clear all of this stuff out. Kenny's currently going to cut off of the Evil Twins.
Effective Hayate.
Carrot's still there. Carrot's still there. Hayate's sending something here.
But Kenny doesn't exactly have a lot of cards in hand either. Continue to have like a lot of follow-up.
Right. And some of them could be side deck cards that maybe don't work against this heavy monster assault.
Yeah.
Like, if you got a handful of Cosmic Cyclones and you're just getting beat down by Sky Striker monsters, that's not the best.
Summon Zeke, effective Vanish Carrot.
And Zeke takes out the carrot.
Engage.
And in this case, you should always try your best to get rid of as many level 2s as possible. You never want to leave anything out for a Sprite player. It's just the simple drawing of one Sprite loop, the entire field is back.
Yeah, like, one way that you can beat Sprite is just run them out of monsters.
Yes.
If they just don't have any monsters, they can't do anything other than try to deck you out. But, that's why you combine Sprite with all these other things, because Sprite on its own has all these weaknesses, and you just try to compensate for that with all of these other things. Very powerful, but clear holes in the strategy.
Yes.
It's been interesting over the last year to see how duelists have been filling in those holes with various other strategies.
And this is one of them.
Well, or two of them.
Yeah, two of them. I mean, Live Twin did have a Live Twin Sprite. Live Twin Runic Sprite specifically had a really strong showing like the other WCQs around the world.
Absolutely. Sometimes you get Melfi cards in there. Sometimes you get monsters for hire. Like, there's all sorts of different things that people are trying. I thought it's quite interesting. I personally like the Live Twin versions of it as well.
Activate, targeting Shizuki.
We're going to get the search.
And attempt to use multi-roll.
And we're probably resetting another card. This is the classic Sky Striker play, especially with multi-roll.
Correct.
The multi-roll is going to set cards back. We set back the Widow Anchor that was just added to hand.
I do feel like I've taken a little vacation back to the past. Into the Striker WCQ.
A Magnemite has been activated and summoned out onto the field.
One in hand, right?
It's weird. I'm looking at it, and I only see 4 stars. That's an interesting way that the light's catching the foil on that.
Oh, yes.
Right? At first I was like, what level 4 monster are you playing in Sprite? Oh no, it's a Bestial. Bestials? been seeing a lot more of them over the last couple months than we have during the whole Kashtira format.
Feather Duster.
Now Feather Duster's pretty good.
You know, an eye for an eye here.
This is an interesting one. I wonder if you just
take the Magnum.
Yeah, because you're not going to have anything else.
Chain linkage.
We're going to do a linkage chain. Okay.
All right.
So sending
Shizuku for. Is that a cost?
Summoning. And Widow will take and steal.
And then Kagari's going to recuperate some of the resources that he just lost.
Targeting engage.
All right, so Rain's going to have a fresh engage to use into his next turn. And Kenny's only got 2 cards here. That's, I don't know. I don't know that Kenny's getting out of this one unless those 2 are really good.
Well, the first one's already really good with the Feather Duster, forcing a lot of the activation, and he forced into the Kagari right away.
And in the end phase, I guess we'll get another Bestial.
If this card is a live twin, because it's normal summon, just start getting everything, that would be pretty good.
That would be good, but he's just going to pass, take back his Bestial.
And
Yep.
he did not add a Bestial.
I guess he didn't activate Magnum.
And of course, the Carrot's back as well. That was from Zeke.
2 in hand, 1 is just. Stand by me? Yep. The barrel.
We're back into multi-roll action.
Nope. Now you've got the second.
Yeah,
these things can happen now.
And we got the engage. Okay, this is like the best friend combo. These 2 work so well with each other. It just starts loading every single card that you play, and then you get everything back. It's really, really strong.
Yeah, notably that Carrot has to tribute another level 2, rank 2, link 2 monster. So it's not actually doing a whole lot right now.
It's just a wall.
Yeah, it's pretty big. 1900 defense is a lot.
It's definitely, if you're playing against a stun level deck, you can use this as a really solid defense. But looking into what Ray can do, I mean, Hayate can bypass it. There's just many ways that he can set up into access code.
And it's interesting that Kenny's at that 6100 again. That's where he was last game when things all went wrong.
But this time there's no fountain.
No fountain this time.
And we're taking the Magnum out again.
Attack. For 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
2200 attack Kagari. That's plus 100 to the spell in his brain. Right?
Okay.
And then let's see if he can finish it off right now.
29 remaining, right? Yeah.
And then is there a linkage? Just keep going. But I can't activate it right now because of the Magnum.
Yeah. Effective roll to send Magnum.
Magnum's gone.
It's looking like we're going to switch forms now, main phase 2.
I'm going to Shizuku.
It would probably be the one, unless you need to load something else in there.
How much time is there left?
And we're going
Plus 6 minutes on
into
top of that.
Shizuku. I mean, there's no point going to the other ones.
Set 1, go to end phase. Yep. Effective roll.
Roll 2 spells.
Yes, 2. So all set.
Well, now he doesn't have to worry about Feather Duster anymore.
Yep.
I guess Lightning Storm would be the next issue.
Yes, well. It would be very interesting if Kenny's hand is just all removal. And that's what stopped him from getting so far into his combos on the first turn.
Okay.
It's not a bad one. It looks like he picked up a live twin.
Yeah, I think that was the Lilla. Lilla gets everything up, but there is a Widow Anchor.
So
an Imperm, too.
Imperm.
That 4th column now is now turned off.
On your road, M-Ray.
Goes for that, what? That
is the Rose.
Yeah, there you go. Which Bestial?
It's Druid Swarm. It's Druid Swarm. Druid Swarm banishing the Rose.
Okay, well, if he had the Druid Swarm in hand already, that would make sense why he didn't grab it with Magnet.
And Druid Swarm sending away Shizuku. But of course, the Ray was already taken out, so we're not seeing any kind of recursion. But now we're going to see the negation and take of the Lilla.
Time to go ahead. Or battle phase skip.
Battle phase skip. Okay.
End phase multi-roll. Yep.
Oh, end phase multi-roll. This is going to set something pretty... Oh,
Yes.
That's a linkage.
Just linkage.
Linkage is just so strong. Being able to just
Turn.
get access right into the extra deck.
Stand by me.
So Kenny has that one card face down.
I've engaged.
And there's the engage. There's engage and linkage. We're going to see if Raymond can close out this game.
Going for Widow Anchor.
Well, that takes away the body.
Draw a card.
Is that a Cosmic Cyclone? He drew into a Cosmic Cyclone.
Engage 2.
That's 4 cards. That's 2 into 4. It's a magic trick right there.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and you've got the afterburns as well. That's fun.
That's...
Oh, yeah, it was.
Procedural error on the back of the slip.
Yeah. Oh, that was set from the multi-roll, so it does get banished.
Normal summon.
Something that, you know, as a Sky Striker, but you have to keep in mind of, like, where your cards are coming from.
Mm-hmm.
But putting out Ray first.
Enter battle. Chain.
So chain 1 is Ray. Chain 2 is Widow Anchor.
So that's going to negate it, and that's going to open up the entire field.
Thinking on taking it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That'd be 2K.
Yeah, he's checking the damage numbers. See if Kagari wins it.
I think Kagari can take it.
Barring anything else, of course.
Kagari effect. Targeting engage.
And we get maybe we'll see a triple engage on this turn.
Time to enter battle. 11. Yeah, I'll take it.
We're going to take 11, and then we're going to take it for game. Oh!
Flashing fire.
Goes for Flashing Fire. And put a monster in the way.
That's Jerry.
The Runic Fang.
Now, if that gets destroyed by battle, that's going to destroy a card on the field.
Main phase 2. Multi-roll defend.
Multi-roll sends it away. Couldn't close it out this turn.
It was engage again.
I wonder why he didn't just activate the afterburners. And just force out all the stuff in the main phase so you can actually perform more actions.
I think it'd be a little awkward because you've got the what's it called, the Lila there.
Mm-hmm.
And the way that chaining would work out. Because where did the Widow Anchor come from there?
I think
was it already set?
It was from his hand.
It was from his hand. I guess that would work. Well, no, it wouldn't, because if you afterburner and he chains, and then you chain Widow Anchor and take it, you wouldn't destroy his card, so you wouldn't destroy the face down.
Yeah.
But this time it's going to go through.
Oh, but they don't exactly have a lot of time left now.
Kenny does not have enough cards to get through it. Now that number up in the corner is absent any time extensions they have.
Of course.
They've got about 6 minutes of a time extension left.
Oh.
So we'll probably have about 5.5, 6 minutes to do something here. And both of these decks have ways. They have ways to make the numbers change.
Mm-hmm.
Runic, of course, can gain 1,000 life points at the end of each turn with one of their Runic extra deck monsters. And meanwhile, the Sky Striker deck can just bypass monsters a lot of times and just get some damage in regardless of how much you try to wall up. So in a short game like this, there are options for both players.
I'm hoping someone can go to 0.
True.
I want to see someone go to 0, or I want to see a complete deck,
total deck out.
Yeah, total deck out.
Remember, this is single elimination.
Yeah, a lot's on the line for Kenny.
So there can't be a draw. So if they remain tied, we're going to keep going until we are not tied. And then that person will be the winner, whoever has more life points.
This is kind of exciting to not just see Kashtira in the first round, personally. That's just my personal feeling. Seeing Sky Striker come back and seeing someone, point so hard into the deck, I love to see the return, especially when the FNLers have some sort of impact. I love it when people just try to pick up the deck once again. Maybe they can, reclaim their former glory.
And Sky Striker is, it's one of those decks that's been around for a long time. And part of the reason why it's been around for a long time is people just like it. People like Sky Striker and like playing Sky Striker, and they've been doing it for years. So when they have, a good excuse to bring it back out for one of the biggest events of the year, why not?
Mm-hmm.
Especially in Raymond's case, since Ray's his favorite card.
Yeah.
I'm expecting to see some invoked players coming out of the woodwork again this event.
Oh.
Now that Shadow's Light is a thing, and you can swap Alistair out for like a Guiding Clem or one of those branded friends, one of those spellcasters.
Yeah. And then you can banish the Shadow's Light to get additional normal, so you can normal summon Alistair twice.
I'm picking which, first or
Alistair's adding effect is not even once per turn, is it? On summon.
It's a normal summon.
It's a normal summon effect. Oh, so now you can get 2 of the views. Alright, this is proceeding with a time extension. So you can ignore the clock.
Yeah, that was also another one of those
penalties don't
deck
carry over
build
to the main event, right?
kind of
The
sets
penalties
as well.
don't carry over to the main event, do they?
Those tend to be the ones that get, that really get their hooks in people and stick around for a long time, those deck building packs.
Yes.
So things like Sky Striker or Invoked.
Yes.
Mathmech even was one of them.
Yeah, that was from...
It's the same pack as Dragon Maid.
Yes. It's Fist of the Gadgets. I believe it's Fist of the Gadgets.
Fist of the Gadgets had the Fire Fist and Gadget cards in it. I'm struggling to remember the name of the set that had the Mathmech and Dragon Maid cards, though.
Say again. Players, you may begin.
I can't remember off the top of my head right now, but they're going to go into Game 3.
And also, Rika is one.
Oh, yeah.
Eldritch was in the same set.
That was with Adam Emancipator as well.
So those tend to be the ones that I think kind of stick the longest. Maybe it's just because they have smaller sets dedicated to those themes instead of just being in the big core sets. I don't know.
But for now, the action is with Kenny. Kenny is going to activate the Runic Fountain. Really good start already, starting with the normal summon of Live Twin Lilla.
This is relevant because both of these themes are also from those kinds of sets.
Yes.
Live Twins and Runics.
Yeah, that set was really good. I really enjoyed that set. Where you got Drytrons as well?
Drytron and Magistus.
Yes. So we're going to see a Kiss-a-Kill Frost summon out through Lilla's effect. I mean, the board's pretty open right now. Anything could happen. And that is...
Oh, there's Home. It's the Quick Play, the special summon. Now, this is the one that locks you into the Evil Twin extra deck monsters.
Okay. Are we going to see some sprite play along the way?
Oh, no, I'm wrong. That's Sunny Snitch.
Oh, that's just going to add.
Sunny
Oh, but that's also...
add.
That's if you can go into the extra deck, you can start making those life points number change by your opponent just summoning out cards.
Yes, I had forgotten about this because sometimes you just don't see it in the Live Twin Sprite deck. I know I don't see it because I never draw it, but that's different.
Oh, we're going to be banishing one for the Runic Tip. That's going to be Afterburners. Oh, that's such a good card, too.
Yeah, especially in this particular matchup. That would have been nice to have.
And I think that is Dispelling.
All right,
Dispelling
players,
for removal.
your time extension begins now. 6 minutes total.
6 minutes of time extension beginning from now.
You are now in your time extension.
Okay, great. Thank you.
All right.
To special.
Yeah, so Sunny Snitch, if you have an Evil Twin monster on the field when your opponent normals or special summons a monster, you basically drain 200 life points away from them each time.
Yes. Yeah. They lose 2, you gain 2. And we're going to see the summon of Hugin. Chainlink 1, Fountain Chainlink 2, Hugin. Hugin's going to discard a Lilla. They open with double Lilla. Double Lilla. Normally, you just don't want to see double up in any hand that you play. I think that goes without saying for most decks, except Sky Striker. You wouldn't mind seeing triple engage.
Yeah, if you look at a lot of these Live Twin decks, some of them are actually cutting back on the basic ones. They'll play like 3 Lilla and 1 Kiss-a-Kill. I don't think that's right because it's so powerful when you draw one of those 2 cards, but you do see it.
We're going to get the draw 2. And we're going into gigantic. Like playing so close with so little time left into the round, you really have to re-strategize a little bit, making sure that you're not going to be caught off guard. And like I think for Kenny's deck, there's just so much that it's able to modify life points, not just on your own turn, but on your opponent's turn as well. Like just having that copy of Sunny Snitch is already a huge impact.
Yeah, because you can't summon anything without automatically being in the hole.
Yeah, you need to commit right away, and you need to be able to play quickly to make sure that that difference doesn't get out of hand.
Yeah, the tough part is, it's a continuous spell, right? A lot of the removal that people play is named Cosmic Cyclone and comes with a 1,000-point cost. So how much are you really gaining? I mean, I guess 5 summons with Sunny Snitch active is half as bad as just Cosmic Cyclone.
Yeah.
Because you just lose 1,000 rather than them also gaining 1,000.
Well, that's a 2,000 difference.
Yeah.
I will attempt to end phase. That's fine.
Nope, no battle phase on the first turn, so it's just a pass.
Also,
draw phase?
Oh, and speaking of Cosmic Cyclone.
Cosmic Cyclone target?
Yeah, you have to take out the guarded fountain.
That's the worst part, is when the Sunny Snitch and the fountain are there, and you have to take the fountain and leave them with the other. It's brutal.
You're doing a lot of math now per play.
What do I make our target?
Okay.
All right, that's another way to...
Normal summon, right? Yep. Enter battle. I take 200. 200?
Yep, so 200 drain here.
Tier 82.
That was actually very smart for him, not going into the main phase, just doing everything before that.
Yes.
That prevents the activation for Galilla.
Effect array.
We're going to get some damage in, only 400 damage, and then another 15.
15 puts you at 63.
And that auto.
Effect of Hayate.
And the second summon does not actually have any life point changes from the Sunny Snitch, because there's no evil twin on the field.
minus 4 from Ray over...
63 tier 68?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Ravens managed to take the lead here.
I just
with under 3 minutes to go. Sends Rose with the Hayate effect.
There's a linkage.
Yeah, he's going for it.
He's pushing for the damage.
He's going for it. I like this.
Linkage.
You can summon into a Kagari for maximum damage. Each of these Sky Striker monsters, if you guys don't remember, they can only be summoned once per turn.
Correct. And that's special summon in any way, not just a link summon.
Yes.
7.
So he's going to add back the linkage. I think we're going to see the linkage push.
He's going for it. I like this.
41.
It should be 30,
I like this because Kenny's going to be down to what, 2 cards in hand?
36, right?
And you got to figure how much damage can they really do when you've got Ray resurrecting after the first destruction.
27.
The next one's also going to be a very high damage monster because there's both a Ray and a Rose in the graveyard, so that linkage is going for all of its effects. Yeah, he's continuing. He's contemplating.
I missed that last change. 36.
Yeah.
I mean, realistically, you've got to go for it here.
Just can't give them that opportunity.
Linkage.
And because also, like, Kenny...
For Shizuku, and then Kenny's seen it up.
Yep.
He knows the rest of the damage is coming, and he's not going to get a shot at it.
And yeah, he doesn't have a battle phase, even if he does go into his own turn.
He just does not have a shot there.
Yeah, right.
And that's one of the things that can get you with the Runics, though, is when you know you're just going to...